good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Wisdom Wednesday podcast is global now. So wherever you are, I want to just say happy Wednesday to you. And today is Wednesday, September the 21st, 2022. And as you know, we're sharing this entire month about this is the season for people to get serious about their business. And so we have an awesome guest that will talk about her business in just a moment. But you know the drill. Grab your coffee cup. Perhaps you want tea, herbal tea, water, or orange juice, and join in on the conversation. I want to officially welcome my guest, a dear friend, a powerful woman that can do all things, I think. I want to welcome Cassandra Reed. How are you this morning?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Great. So great to have you. You look so beautiful. I love your
Thank you.
background. And
Thank you.
also, let me just share with the audience a little bit more about this amazing businesswoman. Cassandra is a certified health coach and the founder at Roots to Happiness LLC. She obtained her certification from the American Association of Drugless Practitioners after completing a health coaching program at the Institution of Integrative Nutrition. Her passion for seeing others live healthy and well led her to form her company, Roots to Happiness LLC. Her goal as a health coach and motivator is to teach and support other individuals as they seek to heal themselves of sickness and disease, feel happier, and maintain their well-being with a healthy lifestyle. Wow, that's a great mission to do, Cassandra.
Yeah.
What was it? Your passion that caused you to be a health coach? Can you share a little bit more about what prompted you to go to Roots to Happiness LLC?
Well, really, it was my mom.
Mm.
My mom has always been the type of person that goes in the kitchen and gets stuff and nurse you back to health. And she wasn't the most trusted because she didn't really learn it from my grandmother, who was the foundation of everything. And that's why I named my business Roots to Happiness. And my grandmother, she was raised by a Native American mom, and her dad, a free slave. Because I'm just maybe the third generation away from slaves. We're not that far from slavery.
That's
So
right.
they didn't have doctors and they didn't have all that. So that's been passed down in our family to use certain things or certain herbs or go outside and pull a flower, pull some herbs and things like that. I'm the only one in my family besides my son, DJ, who
Yes.
goes and really sticks to that. And I took it a little step further by educating myself to what are we doing when we go out here and we get castor oil or we get rosemary or we get this? What are we actually doing? So that was my passion. And after my mom got really sick and the doctors didn't know how to heal her, all they wanted to do was treat her symptoms. So I looked up the medicines they were giving her,
Right.
and she was 76 at the time. And she
Mhm.
came down with a young person's disease, which is rheumatoid arthritis. And you usually get that in your 20s, your teens, or something like that, and you live with it your whole life. Well, my mom came down with it at 76. And a
Mm.
lot of people that know me watched what happened with her
Mhm.
because she became wheelchair bound. I had to move her into my home. And the medicines they gave her were going to cause her kidneys to shut down eventually, cause her bones to degenerate. And so that wasn't good enough for me to see my
Mhm.
mother healed like that. So I
Mhm.
started reading and searching and looking for what is wrong with my mom. And believe me, that they didn't even diagnose her with the rheumatoid arthritis until I came back to the doctor and said, does my mother have rheumatoid arthritis? Because
Wow.
everything I'm reading says she does. And her doctor told me, no, your mother's too old to have that. So I said, well, I think she has it. I would like her tested for it. And
Mm-hmm.
so he said, well, what I'll do is I'll give her the medicine that relieves it and cures
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
Not cures it, not cures it, but
Right.
relieves it.
Mm-hmm.
And she took that medicine, and we were at the hospital at that time. She was hospitalized.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to see her the next day, and she said, I'm ready to go home. I feel good. This medicine is a miracle, blah, blah, blah. Then within a few hours, she got rashes and swelling because she was allergic to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in the family of aspirin. It was called naproxen.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't take naproxen, and naproxen works very well for people that do well on pharmaceutical medicines, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't for my mom.
Right.
And so that meant that we had to go back to square one, but now we
Mm-hmm.
had a diagnosis. So
Yes.
I worked with a doctor in Royal Oak. I think it was Royal Oak on 11 Mile in Maine. He
Mm-hmm.
owned a health food store there. And that doctor worked diligently with me, telling me what to do. And he said, I can make sure that your mother gets totally well if you do everything I tell you to do. And so
Mm-hmm.
I followed him to the T. And my mother cried every day because I stripped her diet of
Mm-hmm.
everything white, everything that was had acidity to it,
Mm-hmm.
and all of that. And I introduced one food at a time back to her. I gave her herbal teas 3 times a day. I gave her Epsom salt baths twice a day. I gave her massages 3 times a day because that was the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
And she lived to be 94
Wow.
years old when she passed. She didn't take any medicines,
Mm.
anything, and no arthritis. The only thing she took for arthritis was Calivrol. So,
Wow.
and that's my passion. That sparked it. And I said, if you can do that for arthritis and get somebody that's wheelchair bound and bedridden out the bed and well and going back to normal life with just food and
Yes.
diet and massages and magnesium baths and things like that, I was like, this is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
that was the beginning of it, and I never stopped. So I haven't stopped. Still, I still study.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to become a master herbalist soon
Okay.
and things like that. I know as much as some master herbalists because of my self studies, but I want to learn how to make the tinctures and the tonics and things like that,
Yeah.
based on the quality of the herb and how much am I getting. Because right now, when I make a tincture or um, a concoction, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know the milligrams that someone is getting. I just give them a safe dosage and
Mm-hmm.
increase it. But I
Mm-hmm.
actually want to get to that stage in my business. So,
Wow.
mhm.
Mentioning your business, you had a phenomenal retreat this Mother's
Yeah.
Day, and I had the honor of being there as well. Can you share a little bit about your future retreats so people can know, the importance of what you eat is so
Sure.
important to your health?
Yes. I'm my goal is to do a retreat once a year and make it an annual retreat. It won't be on the same month or day, but it'll at least be an annual retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the retreat we did this year, included fishing, going to learn how to fish, um, learning about every part of wellness, the mind, body, spirit, because we are more than a one-dimensional being, you know? And
Absolutely.
so you have to be well inside and out to be well. So that's what my retreats will focus on: the mind, body, spirit, physical, and all of that. And it leads into more things like social. And some
Mhm.
people don't socialize. And if you don't socialize, you're not all the way 100% well. And I
Mhm.
believe that. And you just need people. People need people. We're
Yes.
the body. hmm So
It's
that's
like
what did I answer your question? Because
you did, yes, and that's what I said. The totality of a human being,
hotel.
the
hmm
inside, the outside, the
That's right.
social, the economical, the environment,
Right.
all of that.
Everything. Because, when you look at America and
Mm,
other countries too, that
yes.
have went to medicines with pharmaceutical medicines and doctors, that's
Mhm.
what we call well. When, oh, I'm not sick, I'm not this, and I don't have anything wrong with me, I'm not on any medicines.
Right.
But you're not looking at your whole self.
Mhm.
You're not whole if your mind is thinking depressing thoughts. You're not well if your money, it makes you nervous or feel like you're less than someone else if your
Mhm.
financial status isn't where you want it to be. Or
Mhm.
you're not well if you don't like certain people and can't socialize, or you feel like people will intimidate you. Those are things you have to learn to be on this earth and to be
Yes.
whole and to be a benefit to others. You're not just on this earth for yourself. You're here
That's
to benefit the whole world. Someone can benefit from you.
mhm. I'm just
Mhm.
looking. I have to absolutely show some of the remarks from our listeners. Say, sis,
Okay.
you are teaching. You are teaching us today, and so love this, love this. So I just thank you for the people who are listening, because we
Yes.
need to hear the truth. Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely, I concur
Yes.
with everything that you're saying, because I
Yes.
always say this: we're not an island to ourselves. I need
Yes.
you, you need me. God just
Yes.
would have stopped at just creating one person, right?
Mhm. That's
But he
right.
went
That's
ahead
right.
and created a people so we can enjoy one another and learn. Let me just ask you this too, Cassandra, if you don't mind.
Mhm. Sure.
Why is it so essential for business owners to, to be successful in their business? Because what you're providing is an answer to people's questions or problems. Well, why is
Mhm.
it so important not to just be a hobby, but to make it something that people can seek you out because they need that in their life? Why is that so
Well,
important?
well, just like you said, my hobby was an island to myself. I
Mhm.
love studying herbs. I love gardening. I've just the past few, I say 4 years or so, I've
Yeah.
really gotten into gardening and learning how to make my own compost bin and learning how to just grow everything I eat.
Yes.
Um, so if I did it all by myself,
Mhm.
that, I'm happier when I can share. That
Yes.
makes me happy. I don't know about other people if they like to hoard things or hoard information, but how can you feel good about yourself if you're not growing other people? And it's just like gardening. I don't feel good about my garden unless my tomatoes produce. I don't
Mhm.
feel good about my cucumbers unless
Mhm.
they don't die in them before they produce the fruit. So
Yes.
it's like when you look at gardening and when you get out there and you get in the earth and you really see, you get in tune with God, and you
Yes.
see that everything in the Bible was reaching out to other people, bringing people up to a level of prosperity. And
Mhm.
prosperity isn't just financial.
Right.
And I'm telling you,
Mhm.
just these few years, just saying, I'm tired of people calling me when they're sick and
Mhm.
saying, what can I take for this headache? What can I do for this? And it's like, I'm not an encyclopedia now. This is something you need to know. You
Right.
you need to learn this. And so
Mhm.
it just like a bell went off in my head. You need to teach some people what
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
then that way you won't feel like everyone's using you or just
Mhm.
pulling from you. I'm giving.
Yes.
And I don't have time to just sit here and give and talk to people. So it's like information costs.
Sure
And so I
does.
said, this is the perfect business, is what I
Mhm.
love to do.
Mhm.
And you're going to pay for it for someone else who you think has the information.
That's right.
So I have the experience, the hands on experience of watching people get well. And I'm
Yeah.
not a healer. I
Mhm.
know what heals you. I'm
Mhm.
not a healer.
Right.
And I believe in giving all that glory to my Father.
Yes.
in heaven.
Mhm. Amen.
and and he gives me downloads of information. Like I can look at someone out in public,
Mhm.
and I'll look at their eyes, or I'll look at their neck, I'll
Mhm.
look at their skin tone, and I could
Mhm.
tell they're sick. And
Mhm.
sometimes, I have walked up to people and say, I'm just curious, do you suffer with blah, blah, blah? And they'll say, yes, how did you know? And then I'll talk to them and I'll give
Yeah.
them some tidbits. And
Right.
then they'll say, thank you, thank you. You know, and those are people I'll never meet again. But
Right.
it's something that's inside of me that I can't keep all to myself.
Mm.
So I have to do that.
Yeah.
That's who I am. And
Yeah.
so and that's basically it. So if that's something that you have, like other people have computer skills, other people have author skills like yourself.
Mhm.
But it's something you can't contain. It's like your cup runneth over. It's time to give,
Yeah.
So that's the stage where I'm at.
Yes. I
Hmm.
just put that information how they could reach out to you. Um,
Yeah.
what would be a good example if someone reach out to you, Cassandra, and make an appointment for a consultation? What can they expect in that, in that consultation?
With the consultation, you get 30 to 45 minutes. Sometimes I go over,
Mhm.
but I want to just talk to people. When you go to the doctor, the first thing they do is run your blood pressure, ask you what's going on, why did you come in today? But they
Right.
don't really want to know because they got other patients out in the lobby. Okay. And they're not really listening to you. They're not really asking you, well, what did you eat yesterday? Or what is your normal diet? Or what
Mhm.
medications do you have from your other doctors? They only ask that if it's time for surgery. They'll say, list all your medications, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. And then they'll say, take this medicine. Let me know if you have this reaction or this reaction.
Right.
So you go home with medicine that you don't even know who makes it. You don't know the pharmaceutical name. You
Mhm.
don't know what the side effects, how it was derived.
Right.
Nothing. All you know is you're taking it for your blood pressure. You're taking it for your diabetes. You're taking it for this. Then when you come back to your doctor, you
Mhm.
say, well, now I'm having this. Oh, well, let me give you this. And you just hit on all these medicines, and people listening today can
Mhm.
look over at their medicine cabinet or their nightstand or wherever you keep your medicine and just look at how you're feeding the pharmaceutical companies.
Wow.
When all
Yeah.
we have to do is change our lifestyle, eat
Mhm.
right, sleep, listen to meditative music, pray,
Mhm.
um, get within yourself, listen to your body. Your body talks to you,
That's true.
your
That's
skin talks to you, your eyes talk to you, your feet. Every organ in your body is connected to your feet.
Mhm.
Your hands, everything is connected to your hands. You can massage your hand in certain points and relieve headaches without taking Tylenol. There's
Mhm.
so many things to learn about the body, and it's a magnificent machine.
Mhm.
And it is just a vessel that we're here on this planet with, you
Wow.
know?
Yes. Yes.
That's
And it seems so simple, and yet we want to complicate things. You know what I'm
complicated.
saying?
Hmm.
Wow.
Yes, yes,
I like how you said eat the right things and get enough
yeah.
sleep. What about exercising your body?
Exercise is key.
Mhm. Mhm.
Everybody can't run a mile or 10
Right.
miles,
Right.
but exercise can be sitting in a chair and just lifting some bottles of water, and going up and down or crisscross or
Mhm.
just rolling your neck. Everyone complains about a neck, at least once a month. you know
Yeah.
Change your pillow, find the
Mhm.
right pillow, invest in a good pillow. You only need a pillow to be up under your occipital bone and your neck here and where your shoulders meet. You don't
Mhm.
need it all over your head and all of that. And once you keep that spine aligned while you're sleeping,
Mhm.
that's the best sleep in the world. And
Yeah.
then you're ready to get up,
Right.
and you feel like you had good night's sleep.
Yes.
So
Because
it's just little things about learning. So in the consultation, we talk about that. We talk
Mhm,
about, how do you like your job? How do you
mhm,
like your family?
mhm.
Who's in your family that causes you stress? So it's
Wow.
like we just open up and
Mhm,
talk. It's part of getting to know the person in their body.
mhm.
So that's deeper than what a doctor would do.
Yes. And a lot of times we don't associate that with our health. Like you said,
Yeah.
who's in your family that some people don't haven't seen their family members and I don't know how long,
Mhm.
but is
Yeah.
that an avoidance? They're avoiding that. So that has a lot to do with our health, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does. And the main thing that I make sure everyone knows is we do what I call a circle of life.
Mm,
And that's where you get topics in a whole circle and it's shaped in a pie.
mhm.
And I ask everyone, I think you did it at the retreat, where you put a
Yes.
dot on where you think you are in
Mhm.
your education, where you think you are in your exercise. And if those dots, when we draw a line to see how you're aligned in your life, if they're like this, then we focus on the ones that don't make the circle,
Right.
because you don't need to heal everything in your life. And how would we know what you need to heal your blood pressure unless we look at everything? Because
Mhm.
blood pressure is controlled by more than just being overweight or stressed
Right.
or your arteries are clogged. It's a lot more that goes into those things that causes all that, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yes.
once we get our bodies to work, just like a car, you know,
Mhm.
you don't go to your gas tank and put sugar in it.
Mm.
You
No.
put gas in it,
Right.
you know. But
Right.
but humans, we put anything we want to taste on them taste buds in our mouth, you know,
Yes.
and we
Yeah.
expect to run off of that.
Mm.
We're
Yeah.
not looking at, I'm giving myself fuel. No,
Mhm.
I'm giving myself some good caramel apple pie because it tastes good and it's my favorite. But when you break that pie down, what do we have?
Mhm.
So those are the things we talk about, after the consultation. We go into looking at what you eat. We learn to
Mhm.
read labels because
Yes.
labels have hidden ingredients that will kill you.
Mm.
Okay. But
Yes.
if we see the word organic, if we see healthy, we say, oh, I'm going to buy that without reading what's in it.
Mm.
It's not against the law to put organic on your product.
That's right.
Organic has many meanings,
Mhm. Mhm.
so that's one thing that I make sure everyone that buys a membership with me, that's what they get. Because it's a
Yes.
6-month membership. They can buy like a 3-month membership, whatever you can afford. And I
Right.
do way over what you pay for,
Yeah. You really
so
do. I know.
yeah.
Cassandra, when you made me think of something else, not only so much what we consume in our bodies by eating, but what about deodorant and hair products and
Yeah,
lotions? I mean, that's all part of who we are
that's
as well,
all
right?
part of it. And
Mm-hmm.
I bet you 90% of our listeners today have never read the bottle of deodorant.
Mm,
And matter of fact, if you've read it, put a
mm,
7 on the comment section. If you haven't read it, put a 0. Because I
right.
bet you haven't read it. And a
Mm,
lot of people suffer with, even if they haven't been diagnosed with a kidney problem,
uh-huh.
I bet you 9 times out of 10, if you got swollen feet, if you got swollen ankles, or you're not urinating often, you have a kidney problem.
Yes.
And what does deodorant do? It
Wow.
has aluminum in it. It
Mm-hmm.
has all these things in it. And you're rubbing it under your arms into your lymph nodes. You have
Mm,
multiple lymph nodes under your arms.
yeah.
Deodorant will cause you to have breast cancer, kidney failure, all kind of stuff because you don't want to smell. And you like the deodorant because it doesn't stain your clothes. But what you're not realizing is your skin is the biggest organ on your body.
Yes.
Everything you put on your body goes into your bloodstream.
Mm,
So what I do is I teach people how to make their own deodorant. I
mhm.
make deodorant. I make toothpaste. I make skin oils. The oils that you put on your body should be you should be able to put it in your mouth. So if you can't put it in your mouth, you shouldn't put it on your body
That's right.
because your
That's
skin is
right.
the biggest organ. So
Wow.
those are the things we learn and we change, and your health goes up, 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 and you feel good, and then you feel like you can run even if you can't.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
There's one comment that said there is non-aluminum deodorant that smells great.
And read the back of it
Right.
because the warning is there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
it's not just aluminum, other metals can be used. And society is full of metal, and no one does a metal
Mhm,
cleanse often. I
mhm.
shouldn't say no one. Most people do
Yes.
not do a metal cleanse and try to get metal out of the body,
Mhm.
you know.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And someone's saying it's
Uh,
the anti, what is
per,
that?
per,
Pers- yeah. Well, again, it's not to debate about deodorant. It's
mhm.
about what's in it that
Mhm.
makes you well or makes you sick.
Right.
So if you're checking your labels, reading the ingredients, if it has one ingredient that shouldn't be in your mouth, it shouldn't be under your arm. So that's the
Mm.
most I'm gonna say on that.
Yes. Yes. And you
And
were saying,
one
uh,
thing I don't do is argue with people about what's healthy and what's not healthy.
mhm.
I just teach you the ingredients. I
Yeah.
teach you what you should be having in your body. It's up
Mhm.
to you to
Right.
decide what you're going to use. I tell no one, um, take this out your diet. Don't eat this. What I do is I integrate. So I
Yes.
teach you what's healthy. And
Mhm.
eventually it moves the bad things out of your diet and out of your medicine cabinets and out of your kitchen cabinets, you know?
Yes.
So that's the
Mhm.
main thing I do is I don't go around teaching, oh, don't eat meat. Don't do this. Don't do that, you
Mhm.
know? But we have exercises that we do where you learn not to eat meat and you eating fruit and vegetables and things like that. Then when you
Mhm.
go back to eat meat, you'll know the difference. But
Oh
if
yeah.
you never lived a life without meat, you don't know what it feels like to not
Yes.
eat meat. You
Wow.
know, I'm not against meat eaters. I eat
Right.
meat myself, but I'm very careful of what meat I eat. And eventually, my goal is to be a non meat eater. I'm not going to
Mm.
say a vegetarian or a vegan, but I want to get away from meat because I don't believe in eating dead things now, because
Mm.
dead things don't bring you life. But
Wow.
if anything living brings life to the cells. I eat
Yeah.
a lot of sprouts. I eat a lot of raw vegetables. I
Mhm.
eat things that I can put in the ground and it sprout and grow.
Yeah.
And that brings life to the body.
Wow. I know one of our viewers said, I've been plant based since 2019, now raw vegan. So
Yes.
that's a person.
And that's wonderful. Kudos to you because
Mhm.
I tried to be a raw vegan one time, and you have to do it in moderation, but it
Yeah.
will irritate your stomach because it's so healing. It
Mhm.
will have you in knots, balled up in the corner somewhere because it's
Mm.
that healing, and your body
Mhm.
doesn't recognize it as food yet. And it recognizes it as poison. That's how powerful it is. But when
Wow.
someone is a raw vegan,
Mhm.
they're operating at the highest level of
Mm.
vibration in the body because
I
it brings so much life to the cells.
Wow.
Yes.
So when you learned about your body and what you can endure, and like I said, it's a gradual thing too. You have to,
Yes.
use
Yes.
exercise patience when you're going into that newness because your body's gonna be in the shock, right?
Right. It goes into shock and it goes into rebellion.
Mhm.
It's like, this is not what we eat.
Right,
you
right.
know, and it doesn't want you to have it, but you have to introduce it to your body in moderation. It's because it's medicine. Food is
Yeah.
medicine, you know.
Mm,
Hmm.
yes. Wow.
Yes.
I again, if saw a lot of comments that how can they reach you or where you're located. So this is a good source of how you can reach out to Cassandra. Cassandra, what about social media? Can they reach out to you in social media venues?
They can. They
Mm-hmm.
can. I'm not a big social media person, but because this pandemic and this world is moving away from a lot of brick and mortar businesses, I'm
Yes.
building my business online rather than in a building because I
Mm-hmm.
really would rather reach more people than local people just stopping by
Mm-hmm.
and coming to see me. I eventually want a brick and mortar business with products that I make and that I make with herbs and tinctures and things like that. But that's future in the future.
Yes.
But
Yes.
right now, they can reach me at that website, rootstohappiness.com. And they can go on there and become a member. They can also sign up for a consultation. And my consultations, you have to click on the section that says book now,
Mm-hmm.
and it allows you to do that. Or you can send me an email with questions. I do answer questions for free, but I don't spend 30 to 40 minutes with someone for free.
Mm-hmm.
So my time is very valuable, like everyone else's. So
Mm-hmm.
if I sat here and did consultations all day, I'll get nothing done. So now I charge for consultations, you know.
That's right.
So that's basically it. But they can reach me on Cass Reed on Facebook. I just have it abbreviated, Cass Reed. They
Mm-hmm.
can ask me anything. They reach me on Messenger and all of that.
Mm-hmm. You're not on Instagram yet, are you?
No, not as
Okay.
a
Yeah.
business, not as
Yeah.
a business. Just
Yeah.
just as a grandmama.
I know you're
Just showing
beautiful.
off my grandbabies.
I know you're. But well, congratulations to your new one. He is such a
Yeah.
handsome little fella. All your
Yes.
grandkids are awesome.
Yes. That makes seven. He makes seven.
Wow. All
Yes.
right. All right.
Hmm.
So family
Yes.
is important, and I know.
Yes. Very important. That's
Yeah,
part of the life circle.
it really is. It
Yes.
really is.
And your family doesn't have to be blood. You
Yeah.
know, I have family outside of my family, like you're my family.
Yes.
Um, but family is important because you need that support and you need to support somebody else. And people need to
Yes.
feel comfortable in their life like they belong to something. And
Yeah.
that's what my family does for me. They make me feel
Mhm.
like I'm here, I mean something, and I can see them. And that's like a fruit of mine, you know? I
Yes.
look at it as look at my mom. I see my mother in them. I see my
Yeah.
father in them, you know?
Yes.
And when
Yes.
I have my friends, I see what I like in this earth in them. I see positiveness. I see wealth of information in them, and it's just wonderful.
Yes. You
Mhm.
know, I'm so glad you had a chance to come on. I could go on in this conversation.
Yes,
So much wisdom.
yes,
And that's why I know the Lord told me to name it Wisdom Wednesday
yes.
podcast because, you
Hmm.
know, it's always we can get wisdom nuggets for everyday living. And this is what
Yes,
you exemplified today how
thank
what we take care of our bodies and all of that. So I'm asked if you can give any closing words, encouraging words to the audience, and again tell them how they could reach out to you. But I would like you to just close out with some encouraging words, and then we'll turn it back over.
Well, a lot of people think it's the end of the world when they get a fatal diagnosis like cancer, lupus, all of these diseases. Um, but we serve a creator that designed our body to be disease free.
Mm,
And it's all about obedience. And I walk in that obedience. You know, I very rarely get sick. If I get sick, it's because I look back and say, oh, I didn't do this and I didn't do that. And I get back on track. There are not hundreds of people, but there are multiple people that I've worked with that are no longer diabetics, that no longer have high blood pressure, that lupus is in remission, because I believe that it's no such thing as disease. I believe your body is dis-ease. You know, you're not at ease, you're not flowing, your lymphatic system isn't open. So be encouraged that you can be cured. There's no such thing as no cure when we serve the Father that created this world and
Amen.
created you.
Mhm.
And you can be healed and you can heal yourself. No one else can do that for you.
Mhm. Wow.
Mhm.
What great words of wisdom, I must say.
Yeah.
I got to show this. Somebody said, um, you just spoke a whole word right there. No disease. I concur. And I agree.
Yes.
I tell you, this
Yes.
is so powerful. And we
Yes.
just open up our minds and allow wisdom to come in and to have a change of heart. Sometimes we're so stubborn that "Yeah, this is way I was, this way I've always been." That doesn't mean that's the way you have to always continue to be, right?
Yes. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's
Absolutely.
right. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, I've
Hmm.
enjoyed it. I thank you so
Yeah.
much
I
spending.
want to thank you, Mary, for encouraging me to come on, because I'm a very shy person. Most people think I'm outspoken and aggressive and all of this stuff, but I'm very shy. But I'm very passionate as well, and so I let my passion be bigger than my shyness. So.
Yes. Wow. Wow.
Mhm,
And I was
mhm.
just listening to Good Morning America. They were saying, let your passion turn into profit. And you don't do
Yes,
it for that, but you're helping people. You're seeing
yes,
people get better. And it just does your heart good because, like,
yes.
yes, I'm walking in in your purpose, you know, if you
Right,
think about
right.
it. If you think about it. Yes.
Yes, I am. And I know it's my purpose. I've always been the one in the family
Yes.
that drew near to the healing things that were being done to us, and taught to
Yeah.
us. And so I know that's my gift, because everyone isn't you in that, you
Right.
know. And
Mm-hmm.
but I am, and it makes me grow. It gives me joy to see someone change their eating habits and get well, or
Yeah.
change their lifestyle and get well. That's
Yeah.
like, it's still a miracle to me. You
Yeah.
know, it's not
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I knew that was going to happen. It's
Mm-mm.
like, wow, look at God.
Yes.
Every
Yes.
time.
Yes.
So it's like you get to see God in action every day. you
Amen.
know
Yes.
Mhm.
It's a thank you for allowing your passion to be bigger than your shyness. You are a true blessing, Cassandra. So I think our audience enjoyed as much as I have, because I can
I
listen to
hope
you
so.
24/7.
Yes,
Let your gift allow people to be healed in
yes,
every area of their lives. So
yes.
again, this is the information you can reach this phenomenal woman at. You want to get in touch with her, because
Mm.
if you want to have a change of life in your spirit, in your mind, in your body, you need to reach out to this woman and allow her to let her gift work in your life. Amen. So with
Yes,
that, I just wish you a great day. Enjoy those
thank-
grandkids and be blessed. And until next time, we'll see
yes.
you next week. Bye
And
for
be
now.
encouraged, everyone. There is healing.
Yes. I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Thank you again.
Thank you.